You're hanging wallpaper on an outside corner. You come around and you start here maybe, or even there. You come around and it's either not plumb here or over here. I plumbed it over here. So this is perfectly straight up and down. But when I come around, my corner demands more wallpaper here, less here, more down here, because it's not a perfect 90 all the way down from top to bottom. You realize that this makes the forward edge not straight. Because if my corner comes out a bit, goes in a bit, it's going to affect this edge. If I start it over here, when I wrap it around, this is going to be off if my corner is off. Now, this wall covering is thick vinyl. You're not going to do to this what Phil Beckwith shows you and what many of us do, which is to cut. Let me show you. You cut the wall covering here, and you simply take this piece and overlap it. See, if I cut maybe by 1/8 or 3/16 over here, and just get a little lip right onto this corner here, I can regain straightness here by bringing it over here and doing this to it, thereby making this edge straight. But with this thick vinyl, when you round this corner, okay, you're coming over here, boom. This wallpaper, which will be wrapped over to here, you're going to see the edge here, and it's not going to be pretty. This is what you're going to see. See that white edge? You're going to see a thick wallpaper edge. I hope you understand what I mean. So, can't do this with every wallpaper, but we can do it here. I'm going to show you what you can do. Many of you have already guessed. You hang your own wallpaper. That's great. This is not straight. Let me prove it to you. You have the idea? I started on this side, came over here, corner, wrapped it around here. Consequently, this is not straight. There's my forward edge. Now, some of you might be thinking, who cares if it's not straight? No one's going to tell. Well, we have 90-degree angles here. This has to continue, okay? 90 meaning here's a line, boom, there's a corner. That is a 90. And once you go off of that, it's going to manifest on the bottom or at the top. Soon enough, that line is going to come off of that crown molding and down below it. And everyone's going to see it. So we do have to deal with this right now. And I think half of you have already guessed what I'm going to do. Because this is a forgiving pattern, I'm going to do something that will make this problem disappear. Okay, so let's do this. We don't need the laser on right now. Okay, you get the idea. I'm going to give you the better top perspective. So that's where we're off anyway. So because we have stripes can go over other stripes. And we're going to overlap it and regain our plumb line. Let me show you up close. So what I've done is I've overlapped. You see what I said? This pattern. Now you can't do this on every paper. I don't know why we call these papers. This is vinyl. But paper hangers tend to call this, whatever, paper. But it's not paper. Okay, so I don't need to be that much over, but you get the idea. I'm overlapped now. And now I'm going to use my laser to cut straight through both and do what's typically called a double cut. And before I do my double cut, I just want to make sure that the left edge is plumb. And so it is. And now I know that I can go ahead and cut it. Okay, so let's do that. So I trim the top and I trim the bottom. Again, I made sure that this is straight. And then I had to come over and adjust this again. Now we're gonna trim it. Okay, let's do that. And even if I'm overlapped 2 inches, let's say, I'm not, but I'm about 1.25 inches here. I wanna trim it to the closest point where I get a junction between this line and this one. See, here's my separation. You don't want to cut it over here, even though you have paper underneath it. You don't want to cut it here. You want to cut it here because I know that this is going to meet up after I trim it. I don't know what's going to happen over here. It may meet here, but it may not meet up here. So you want to trim it as close to the point at which you know the overlap meets the underlap. Okay. Now, let's see the result up close. take the laser away. What do you think? You judge. See how forgiving it is? How do you do it?